know, Jason, you don't have a crystal ball. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But what are some of your what you see when it comes specifically to the Middle East?
Hmm.
We have Israel and Iran. That fired up out of nowhere. Some of the headlines I saw was that America was almost caught off guard, if you will, with the escalation that's there. Can you kind of like play out some potential scenarios that could happen here with Iran and Israel and a little bit more of a background on like what's going on and why?
Yeah, I think the biggest mistake we make as Americans is we think we're going to be able to bring peace to them. It's not going to happen. We think to ourselves, like, hey, we have freedom of religion in this country. We respect each other's religion. We have the founding fathers. We had an Adams, we had a Washington, we had a Madison, we had all these guys, we had a Franklin, and every country didn't have that. Every country doesn't think like we do. So us thinking that we're going to be able to go in there or that we're going to be negotiate some type of peace, you don't realize these people hate each other for religion. They want to murder each other. They hate Americans. So that's what I'm talking to people. Is probably one of the most frustrating things is yes, we all wish everybody get along. We wish everybody respected each other's religion. There was freedom of religion, but we're in our little American bubble, which is amazing and we're incredibly blessed. And so, Biden administration is saying, hey, we're going to negotiate. We're going to get peace with it. No, 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 no. It's been happening for a gazillion years. It's going to happen for another gazillion years. It's one of the many things of it's not a matter of if, it's going to matter of when that tinderbox really takes over, when it brings us into World War III. Now, clearly, at this time, it is certainly looking like that's going to happen. I mean, we've been dancing around that kind of fire, if you will, forever. We're all about to fall in. And so that is going to kill stock markets. That's going to sink stock markets because obviously stock market does not like geopolitical uncertainty. So that's why I tell people is like, you've got to start protecting your money. You've got to put things in place right now because the infrastructure is going to be a problem from China and Russia. World War III is going to be a problem with Iran, with Israel, and of course, us getting dragged in. And hoping for peace is great, but it's not realistic. Look back and look at history. It's like when I'm very obviously very anti communism. Like anybody who believes in communism is an idiot. And so I think to myself, like, why don't you go look back in history and see how communism worked out, right? Well, why don't you go look back in history and see relations, Israel, Iran, and all the things like that? It hasn't changed. It doesn't work. It's only going to get worse. So I think we're just, as I said, sitting on a tinderbox.
Yeah, and a lot of people are concerned about it. The Middle East has always been in some sort of turmoil. We've had maybe a decade and a half of a relative calmness. And the reason why it's something that should be on everyone's radar is because it's one of the biggest, that area is one of the biggest oil exports in the world. And the technology and capability. Iran has nuclear weapons. They have that ability. And so the escalation and where this could actually go could absolutely split this world in half.